Okay, welcome to another section of this lesson. And today I'll teach you guys how to create a login page, also a sign up page together. So please, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, do well and click on the subscribe button and also click on the like button. So let's proceed. First of all, you launch your VS Code. So once you launch it, let's create a folder first for our project because from the previous video I told you guys that once you want to start a new project in HTML, it is recommended you create a folder for it separately. So I'm creating mine on my desktop. So you right click, go to new, then folder. So let's name this login page, right? Then you press enter. So you go back to your Visual Studio Code, click file, then click on open folder. Then you navigate. I saved mine on desktop, so I'm clicking here, desktop. This is the folder login page, then select folder. Then it has opened my folder. So in my folder, I have nothing. I haven't added any file in here. So now to do that, I will click here. That's this first button here. Once you hover through it, you are going to see new file. You click it, then you type in index.html, right? And we are needing two files, that's our HTML and also our CSS. So I'm also creating new one and I'll name it style.css. So once I'm done with this, let me minimize, then go back to this page, to this folder, sorry. Then you can see index and style, which we haven't added anything. So you double click, then you see it has opened. So it's blank because we haven't added any code in here. So let's proceed with our coding. So first of all, we type in our HTML structure. Once you type HT, you can see HTML5. That's the structure. You click it, then it will autocomplete and generate the structure for you. So let's name this. The title should be login page. Then Control S. So now let's begin. First of all, we create a division, div division. So let's give it a class of container, right? Give it a class of container. So we also create a form. So this is our form. So let's give a label of our form should contain username. So after this, we give a break tag. So after the break tag, we have our input tag. So let's write our placeholder, enter username. So let's refresh this to see. So once we refresh this, you can see username, that's the label, and we have the input. So once we have done this, we give another break tag, then another label also. So this label should be password. So once we type in this password, you refresh, you can see it over here. Then sorry, you come back here and also give a break tag and also give an input tag. So instead of this input type to be username text, sorry, from like this one, so this should be password. So placeholder should be enter password. So once you are done with this, let's refresh. You can see we have username, the input for the username, the label for password, and also input for the password. So once you are done, you give another break tag, then also open a button tag. So let's make this to be login. So if you refresh this, then you can see the login. So now let's go ahead and add a background image. So from our CSS here, Let's use the universal selector and give a margin of 0, also a padding of 0, right? So now let's give a background image to our body. That's from our main login. I want to put in a background image to cover everything here. So go back to your, like this, the folder. So whenever you are inserting image in your HTML project, you must make sure that the image is in your HTML folder. So from here, I will go to my pictures and copy the image I want to use. These pictures. Then I would like to use let me look for a suitable image. Let me look for a suitable image. Okay, let me use this. Let me copy this and paste it here. So let's make this to be BG, which stands for background. And you can see the type from here is JPG. So whichever image you are using here, you must make sure that you know the type. You check the type from here. You can see mine is JPG. So if yours is PNG, take note of that. So I will come here and type my body because I want to apply this styling to the whole body. So I'll now write background image, then URL, which is the syntax, then the name of the image now is BG, then dot JPG, which is the format. As you can see from here, the type is JPG. So I'll write JPG here, right? So if I refresh this, okay, it's not showing. Let me check the name of the image and be sure. This picture, let me JPEG. Okay, so I think let me check this. Let me give it a height of 100 VH. VH is a unit of measurement also. Okay, I'm coming. I think this is from my catcher. From my catch. So let me just clear it first. Okay, I think I made a mistake. I didn't link my CSS. That was why. So let me link this. You can see this the syntax for linking your CSS, then the name of the CSS style.css. So if I refresh this, you can see the image as shown. So now let's proceed. And also let me introduce you to what they call gradients. Maybe you want to make the image to be a bit darker. You can maybe add a radial gradient. Then let me give it RGBA color of 0, 0, 0, 0 points let me use 5 here, or yeah, let me use 5, and I'll also give it RGBA color of 0, 0, 0, 0.19. So notice something, if I refresh it becomes a bit darker. So now let's style our container now. Whenever you are styling a class, because from our HTML we give the division a class container. So when you are styling a class, you use dot. You can say I use a period here, then the name of the class, which is container. So I want to centralize this container. I want it to be in the center of my working space. So first of all, I'll write position absolute. That means it should follow any other command I gave it from its normal position. So I will now write left should be 50%. Also top, from the top it should give a percentage of 50. I will transform this also and translate minus 50%. That means it should subtract 50% from the left and also right, because I'm centralizing this now. So let me give it a background color of white. That's HFFF. So if I should save this now, you can see it has come to the center. So let me increase the width, sorry. Let me give it 500 pixel. So if I refresh this, you can see it has increased. 500 is It's quite too much. Let me give it 4. And let me also give it a padding of 20 pixel so that the elements will not, so you can see I've given it a padding. So you can also play around. Instead of using the white background color, you can use the RGB color, RGBA, sorry, RGBA color. You can give it RGBA of red should be 0, green should be 0, blue should be also 0, and make this much transparent like 0.7. So if you refresh this, you can see it has given something of this. So let's make this 0.4 to see. So 0.4 is not that dark, so let's use 6. This much more better. So now let's proceed to style our, okay, let me just make a heading H2. So let me put this to be login page. So if I refresh, you can see login page has appeared. So let's come here now. From our container, let's style the elements inside the container. So first of all, let's first style our H2 that we just added now. Let's centralize it by using text align to be center. So let's give it a color of, let's give it a white color. So if you refresh this, you can see it has come to the center. So we can also change the font type, that's using the font family property. So let's use impact. Oh, that doesn't look nice. So let me look for a better font. I think this should be better. So you can see the login page here. So let's also give it a margin bottom so that it should push the other object down, kind of space. If you notice, it gives a kind of space here. So now let's style our label. So this is our container, and we have already styled this h2 from this container, from this division container, that's the class. Then let's style this label now. So you reference that according to the elements inside within the container. This is the opening of the container tag, and this is the closing. So each element in here, you can use the dot container as I did here. Then you now write the tag of the element like h2, which I did here. So now let's go to label now. Let's also give it a color of white, which is FFF. Then also font family. Font family. Let's give it this the same thing with H1. So okay, sorry. If you refresh this, you can see, right? So now we are done with our label. So let's style our input now. Our input, let's give it a padding of 13 pixel and see how nice it will look like. This 13 is okay. So let's give it a width of 100% so that it should fill the container. 100%, that's too much. Let's make it 80% or 90. Yeah, I think this is okay. So let's give it a margin bottom of 15 pixel so that it should, as you can see, it has pushed it. So now let's play around with it right here. So let's give it a background color. Let's make it transparent. So if you make this transparent, you can see it has taken all this border, right? So let's give it a border of none. I want to remove the border now. I want to only have border bottom now. So we can make this to be 4 pixel solid orange. So I'm only interested in having the border bottom. So you can see it here. So you can use whichever color you want to use. But if you notice something as I'm typing, the text color is black, which I don't like that. So instead, I will come here and write color as FFF, so it will transform to white. So you can see it's now white. So let's proceed. So now we can as well as style our bottom, sorry, right? This is our bottom here. So we now reference it here. Um let's give it a padding of also 13 pixel, also a width of 90%. So if we refresh this here, you can see. Okay, let's make this 100. I think it will fill the screen. 100, that's too much. So let's use 95. 95 also too much. 98. Let's make it something of this. So now um let's give it a background color of orange, right? So let's remove the border because I don't want to see any border around, depending on your specification on how beautiful you want it to look like. So you apply the properties. So if you refresh here, you can see. So this is a login page here. So you can also give the container if you want to make it look more beautiful. Let's assume a border of 2 pixel dash orange, as you want the border to be in a dash form. And see, I've added a dash. You can also increase the thickness of it by changing this to 4. If you refresh, you can see. So depending on what you want, you can play around with this. You can also go about this input and make the border, instead of this border to be none, you can change this border to 2 pixel solid orange. So if you refresh this, you can see the border is here. So that's all about creating the login page. Then for sign up, I think sign up is also easy by just adding all this depending on the information you are imputing. So you can go about as add much. You can make this username, password, first name, whatever you like it to be. So that's all about this for now. So I'll also keep a link to the codes in case you want to download the codes and view everything that we did today. I will paste a link in the description so that you can go through it and make some modification as you like. And don't forget to also subscribe and like the video. Thank you very much.